To our senior show here this afternoon. These are our yearling alpine milkers. It's a close place in between these two does as far as particularly in general appearance. They're both really nice and long and level. I am going to go with the udder placings 1 and 2. We do have a little more fullness to the rear udder, a little greater extension to fore udder on this first place doe, and then slight edge in the dairy strength, and that she's a little more open ribbed, a little fuller, and a little more out curving in the flank here when viewed from the rear than we see in number 2. But again, two nice smooth-lended yearling alpine milking does, granting placement of teat when viewed from the side back here to number 2.
In our Alpine Yearling Milker class, first place and best udder went to entry 98, Beck Farms Peeps Lavender, exhibited by Sarah Beck, Seymour, Indiana. Second place and second best udder went to entry 99, Kickapoo Valley Piper Moment, exhibited by Evelyn Lund, Rockville, Indiana.
Okay, we have a single entry here. This is our yearling Nubian milking class. Single entry, but we've got a good one out here. It's nice to see this memory system on this doe. She got a real nice full rear udder, nice placement of teat and udder floor. This is a doe that could stand some competition and still do well. She's a yearling, but we're going to see how she stacks up when we bring in our older does. It's a strong doe in general appearance and body. Congratulations. Beautiful extension to fore udder on that doe, too.
In our Nubian Yearling Milker class, first place and best udder and best bred and owned goes to entry 97, KECMR Charlie Ziza, exhibited by Rob Smith, St. Paul, Indiana.
Okay, these are our 2-year-old Alpine milkers. Going to start off, and the udders are going to be 1 and 2. Going to start off with this first place doe. She just really commands the first place here in the way that she travels around the ring with that beautiful level top line. She has a nice correct mammary system when you look at the overall area of udder support. Placement of teat and udder floor. Lots of body and still nice and dairy and open ribs. So for all those little attributes, she's right there where I think she should be today. Then 2 going over 3 for that advantages I just mentioned, and a little more deeper back into the flank. She has a little more correct placement of teat and udder floor in the mammary, and a little more body with a nice power in the front end with still being a lot of dairy. 2 then going over 3. This is a mammary system advantage, just more fullness to rear, a little more body capacity as well to go with that mammary system. Over my third place doe. This third place doe is a real strong doe in general appearance. It's for in the mammary. She does have a little greater overall area of udder support, particularly width to the rear, which keeps that mammary a little more firmly in place as she travels around the ring. And less movement and ease of motion here as she walks around that udder today than we see in 4. A little wider throughout, and that kind of helps this whole package put together a little tighter. 4 then going over 5 for the advantage in her turn. It's that capacity of mammary system she has. Nice high upstanding doe, a lot of dairy strength, and she's a little sharper and smoother blended in the shoulders area in general appearance. Then we see in number 5. 5 then going over 6. General appearance, again, primarily for that width between the hocks. Just a really nice strong doe here in this uphill stature and a little more openness of ribbing and dairy strength over number 6. 6 then going over 7 for the advantage in her turn, walking with a little greater width between the hocks in general appearance and having that capacity of mammary system to put her over number 7. 7 then over 8. As she travels around the ring, she just maintains a more level top line. She has that capacity of mammary system strength as well. I would like to commend that front end assembly, this long lean neck and dairy strength that we have on the 8th place doe.
In our Alpine 2-year-old class, first place best udder and highest placing junior went to 108. Kids and All Prime Sage, exhibited by Tyson Weeble, Angola, Indiana. Second place and second best udder to entry 105, Moran Lady's Secret, exhibited by Randy Adamson, Milton, Wisconsin. Third place to entry 107, Love's Blue Ridge, Cages Dia, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana. Fourth place to 109, Gilmore Acres, Lockhart Nahar, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Fifth place to 106, Delta Row Logan's Lakin, exhibited by Terry Jock Coviot, Hillsborough, Tennessee. Sixth place to 101, Pleasant Grove Mono Mariah, exhibited by Hannah Gobe. Seventh place to 102, PJ Bailey's KFFS Apple Candy, also exhibited by Hannah Gobe. And eighth place to 104, Olentangy Rockstar Alanis, exhibited by Anna Streeter, Wildwood, Missouri.
Okay, so these are our 2-year-old Nubians, and again, a, a good class here to kind of work through a lot of different things. We're going to start off with this doe at the head of the line, and she's going to be our first udder. She just has that capacity of memory system. First doe, first udder. I'd like to see a stronger medial suspensory ligament when viewed from the rear. It doesn't have quite that nice little V that we like to see, or the little W, I guess. But again, she's got the overall area of support. She has the placement of teat and udder floor. She has the extension to fore. And so with all those kind of things coming together, she's going to be first udder. The second udder is on the second place doe. Again, not as capacious, but a really correct memory system when we look at the placement of teat perpendicular from both the side and rear. Then looking at the animals, again, I'd like to see this doe a little bit stronger as far as in that top line. She does level off on the move. But she's just such a long, stretchy doe. When you put your hands on her with all that depth of body she has, that openness of ribbing, it just really comes right through. She's just a really nice high-headed doe, a strong in dairy strength, body capacity, and a memory system. We're going to yield a little to that level top line back here to number 2, but it doesn't seem like it's hurting her too much. And I'm going to go with the doe just like she is. 2 then going over 3. It is for that overall area of udder support. She just also has a little more proper placement of teat when viewed from the rear, and then coupling that with the body capacity advantage with the width and depth. 2 is going up over 3. 3 then over 4 in her turn. It's the dairy strength. She's just a little sharper, more angular, open-ribbed than we see in this 4th place doe. Again, a nice capacious memory system for a first freshener. It is for the advantage of that dairy strength that she's going over the deeper body doe behind her in 4. 4 then going over 5. Close placing, but it's a general appearance strength, just smoother blended and more level of the top line in general appearance. And then dairy strength, a little bit more levelness in the rump here with a nice height to rear udder. 5 going over 6 in a close placing, but it's a capacity of memory system strength that's putting her over the doe behind her. I really love the general appearance that we have on this 6th place doe. She's tall, upstanding. It just would like to see a little more capacity to be in balance. I realize this November is kind of late in the season. She's a really nice strong doe in that area of dairy strength and has a nice memory. It is for that greater height in the withers, length of bone that she is going over the red belted doe behind her. This is a real typey balanced doe. It is for the dairy strength, openness of ribbing again in her turn, and that little levelness in the rump that she's going over the black spotted doe behind her. And then we have the body capacity as well as, more importantly, the angulation rear leg set that's putting the black spotted doe over the doe behind her. And a little more capacity of memory system as well.
In our Nubian 2-year-old class, first place, best udder, and best spread known goes to entry 99, Begley's Troubled Acre Foshnosh, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Second place and second best udder goes to 102, Begley's Troubled Acre Boomstra, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Third place to entry 98, Hohenboo BMR Karma Kismet, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Fourth place to entry 103, Hohenboo Divine Merit, exhibited by Holly Broker. Fifth place to entry 100, Begley's Troubled Acre Hot Facts, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Sixth place to entry 104, KECMR Teton Charlotte, exhibited by Rob Smith, St. Paul, Indiana. Seventh place to entry 101, Kiwanis Kids Mariah, exhibited by Lisa Sinassel, Rochester, Indiana. Eighth place to entry 106, KECMR Charlie's Finley, exhibited by Rob Smith. And ninth place to entry 105, Larkwood Farm SS Nora, exhibited by Evelyn Lunn, Rockville, Indiana.
I mean, that's when I'll make sure I let you, okay? Okay, so in this class of 3-year-olds, we got some real nice does at the head of the line here, and the udder placings in this class will be 1 and 2. It is for that memory system placing here, that 1 is going up over 2, and that she has that greater extension to fore udder, a little more fullness to rear, and coupling the, excuse me, coupling that with a little more dairy strength and a little bit more openness of ribbing, sharpness, and angularity. Just that really nice angle coming back there into the flank as she travels around the ring as well as at rest. Then she's going to yield, however, a little body capacity back here to number 2. She's got a lot of depth and width in the second place doe. Really a powerful individual with a lot of levelness and top line in her own right. Just not quite the capacity of memory to go with all that body that she has to be more balanced, but she has a very correct memory system with the overall area of udder support and the placement of teat and udder floor. 2 going over 3, 4, 1 in the memory system, just a little greater overall area of udder attachment, which keeps that memory system just a little firmer in place as she travels around the ring. And then she does have the body capacity to go along with that, with the width and depth throughout. We are going to grant a capacity of memory system back here to this tall upstanding doe standing in third place. It is for the general appearance, however, for the stronger rear pasterns, that 3 is going up over 4. It's a real powerful doe back here with a very nice strong memory system as well. I want to commend her in that area. I'd just like to see a stronger nose rear pastern to place higher today, but for that advantage of that tremendous capacity of memory system and body, she is going over the doe behind her that I moved up the line here as she traveled around the ring. Then the doe that's third from the end over the doe second from the end in this move here for that capacity of memory system that she has today. And then overall area of udder support, she's kind of not performing to her best out here, but she does have a really nice capacious memory and body. And then the doe, the second from the end over the doe behind her, for the general appearance. She's just walking higher in the withers and lower in the hips. It's a really nice long-bodied doe here in our last place position. I just like to see her a little more level in the rump area today, but again, she has a nice angulation to rear legs and want to commend her for that in general appearance and dairy strength. There you go.
In our Alpine 3-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 117, Delta Row Lorena's Lila, exhibited by Terry Jacoviet, Hillsborough, Tennessee. Second place and second best udder goes to entry 111, Moran R.M. Rennet, exhibited by Randy Adamson, Milton, Wisconsin. Third place to entry 112, Soldier Mountain Loa Raven Soul, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Fourth place to entry 116, M&G Farms Molly, exhibited by Hannah Gold, Franklin, Indiana. Fifth place to entry 113, PV Farms KT My Mama Mia, exhibited by Jeff Eckroat, Akron, Indiana. Sixth place to entry 115, Love's Blue Ridge Dobby Austell, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsburgh, Indiana. And seventh place to entry 110, Karst Creek Excess, exhibited by Debbie Haberlin, Georgetown, Indiana.
Okay, these are our 3-year-olds here. Again, this doe at the head of the line. She's just a real powerhouse doe, but also at the same time, just a really strong, put-together doe. When you look at the mammary system, and she's going to be our first udder here for that capacity of mammary system. You put your hands on that mammary system for all that capacity and everything. She just is like butter. It's just really nice and pliable. Just has a great texture. But she really commands that ring as she walks around commands the ring as she's on the move here with that nice uphill profile. She's really strong in general appearance. When you look at that smoothest of blending of neck into withers, and then that capacity of mammary system. The second udder is on the second place doe. Again, we're going to go 1/2 for that mammary system. As I just mentioned, we're going to also have the body capacity and just a little bit stronger as far as that levelness in the chine area on the move is going to put 1/2. It's a real dairy doe. She's going to yield a little to the sharpness and angulation clearly in this second place doe. Just like this here, carrying a little more capacity today, but again, for that tremendous dairy strength that she has, openness of ribbing, flatness of bone, she is going over the doe behind her in 3. 3 then over 4. It's a general appearance advantage. This doe just tends to level out more. She just is a stretchier doe on the move as well as at rest. Then we see in the deeper doe here, and she's going to yield to the body capacity of 4. 4 then going over 5 for that depth of body and the capacity of mammary system she has in her right with that nice height to rear and width. Great overall area of udder support. 5 then going over 6 for the advantage that she has in body capacity and angulation rear legs in general appearance. 6 over 7, just a little more balance with the capacity of mammary system, yielding to the angulation rear leg set back here in the 7th place doe. This is a doe when you view from the rear, she has really got to be commended for that height to rear udder, the width to rear udder. I'd just like to see a little more extension to 4 to go with that, and a little more depth of body perhaps as she continues to mature. But for that tremendous height to rear, she's going over a deeper body doe behind her, 3rd from the end, and then the doe 3rd from the end over the doe 2nd from the end. Capacity of mammary system and balance to the halves, and then this doe that's 2nd over the doe behind her. Again, capacity of mammary system. Would like to see this doe just carrying more capacity, but again, really want to commend her for her general appearance.
In our Nubian 3-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 108, Begley's Troubled Acre Hot Shot, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Second place and second best udder goes to entry 115, Grand Champion Hohenboo Feather Faithful, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Third place to entry 114, Begley's Troubled Acre Busybody, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Fourth place to entry 109, Begley's Troubled Acre Illicit, also exhibited by Lisa Begley. Fifth place to entry 110, Grand Champion Hohenboo Casely Kennedy, exhibited by Holly Broker. Sixth place to entry 116, Country Mile Areem Popcorn, exhibited by the Roger Neuenschwander family. Seventh place to entry 111, KECMR Teton Tiva, exhibited by Rob Smith. Eighth place to entry 113, Begley's Troubled Acre Venus, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Ninth place to entry 107, Redwood Hills Vision Sawyer, exhibited by Rob Smith. And 10th place to entry 112, Grand Champion Hohenboo Divinity Virtue, exhibited by Holly Broker.
Okay, it's our 4-year-old class here of Alpine Milkers. Again, a first udder, a first doe, second udder, second doe. Going to go with this placing of one in the mammary system. We do have that nice capacity of mammary system, a nice extension to 4 udder with a little greater width to rear udder on the mammaries is putting 1/2. She has a slight edge as far as in, again, that nice dairy strength when you put your hands on her. She's a really open rib doe, lots of sharpness and angularity to go with that body capacity strengths that she has. But it's primarily that mammary system is putting 1/2. Really a beautiful style and grace here in the second place doe. Uphill stature, smooth blended, lots of width in the front end, and walking around that mammary system really comfortably. I would like to see a little more capacity, but again, she does have that nice strength of medial suspensory ligament and a nice overall area of support. It's going to put body capacity and a little bit more overall area of support in the mammary. Is going to put 2 then over 3, yielding to the capacity of mammary that we have in our third place doe. This is a really nice dairy individual. When you look at this doe in profile as well as put your hands on her, she's open, flat, and it is for that advantage in dairy strength. A little tighter in the shoulders area as well in general appearance is putting 3 over 4. 4 then over 5. Just a really strong doe. In many areas of the scorecard, I'd like to see her a little stronger in those pastures, but she's really smooth blended, neck into wither. She has a level top line. She's nice and deep and wide and has a nice overall area of udder support. It's for those strengths and other areas of general appearance that she's placing over the doe behind her. Also a little cleaner about the delineation of teat from udder floor. Then 5 over 6 for the advantage in her turn. A nice capacity of mammary system, particularly the height to rear, and then body capacity. She's deeper and wider throughout than the doe third from the end. The doe third from the end over the doe behind her, capacity of mammary system. And then it is for that, again, in her turn, the height and width to rear udder that's putting the doe second from the end over the doe behind her.
In our Alpine 4-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 119, Moran RM Reggie, exhibited by Randy Adamson, Milton, Wisconsin. Second place and second best udder to 120, Delta Row Aftons Arley, exhibited by Terry Jock Coviot, Hillsborough, Tennessee. Third place to entry 125, Gilmore Acres AR-15 Legacy, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Fourth place to entry 118, Love's Blue Ridge Demetra, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana. Fifth place to entry 121, Beck Farms Kipper Moxie, exhibited by Elizabeth Beck, Seymour, Indiana. Sixth place to entry 123, Little Nix's Bow's Pink Lady, exhibited by Elena Weaver, Laurelville, Ohio. Seventh place to entry 122, Love's Blue Ridge Free After Dark, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana. And eighth place to entry 124, Turnback Creek Abilene, exhibited by Annika Streeter, Wildwood, Missouri.
Oh, that's him. It's 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I would have changed it up if I let you. Okay, so here we go with this memory system placings 1 and 2. We are going to start with the doe that just has that real nice balance package overall. Love the extension to forerunner, the capacity, the height and width throughout. And then looking at the total doe here, you've got the uphill stature. She's strong in general appearance, and then has the dairy strength to go with it. Puts it all together here quite nicely in his 4-year-old. Then 2 going up over 3. We have just a doe that's a little longer, a little taller and stretchier doe. Then we have our third place doe, a little cleaner about those teats today as well. 3 then going over 4. A little more balance here in this doe. I'd like to see both these does carrying a little more capacity of memory system, but we do have a little greater width of rear udder on our third place doe going up over number 4. Also a little more openness of ribbing. Want to commend the depth of body back here into our 4th place doe. Then as for that advantage today, that's having a little bit more sharpness and angulation throughout. A little cleaner and lower angulation to rear legs and general appearance that she in her turn is going over the powerhouse doe stem 105.
In our Nubian 4-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 119, Prairie Ridge Angels Anthem, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Second place and second best udder to entry 122, Begley's Troubled Acres Audacity, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Third place to entry 118, Woods River Katie Causing Trouble, exhibited by Reagan Arney, Avon, Indiana. Fourth place to entry 121, Grand Champion Hohenboo Katniss Everdeen, exhibited by Holly Broker. And fifth place to entry 120, Begley's Troubled Acres Disguise, exhibited by Lisa Begley.
Okay, these are aged alpine does. They range from 5 up to 9. Um, Quite a span here, a number of different lactations. But this doe that you see coming up here to the top of the line, I believe she's a kind of a 5-year-old fourth freshener, I believe. That's correct. 5 and 5, excuse me. 5 with 5 freshenings. And just a real strong doe here in the mammary system. That's why she's got her first udder. She just has that capacity of memory, the shaped udder. Nice height to rear, placement of teat and udder floor. Lots of dairy strength to go along with that depth of body, but it is for the combination of the capacity of memory system and body capacity that one is going up over this black doe and 2. 2 then over 3, closer placing, but we do have that greater height to rear udder. She's just a more balanced package when you look at the capacity of memory system and then coupling that with a nice smoothness in the shoulders area and general appearance. It's going to put her over number 3, yielding to the body capacity back here to this third place doe. Nice length of ribbing on this doe. Certainly want to commend that depth back in the flank. It is for the advantage, just a little bit higher in the withers here today, a little bit more capacious memory. But I tell you what, if you look at these does from the rear, this fourth place doe, excuse me, has got the strongest placement of teat and udder floor, just a really nice socked on memory system as well. And I just really want to commend her for that shaped udder. And that is what's putting her over the doe behind her, that beautiful overall area of udder support, placement of teat and udder floor. It's put in the belted doe over the brown doe that's standing behind her, and then the doe third from the end over the doe behind her, again for the overall area of support in the mammary and capacity. And then we have this 6-year-old doe here going up over the 9-year-old doe. She does have that body capacity advantage when viewed from the front, wider in the chest, deeper in the heart, just carrying that depth back a little more than we have in that 9-year-old.
In our Alpine 5 and over class, first place and best udder went to entry 128, Moron Rochester Kennedy, exhibited by Randy Adamson, Milton, Wisconsin. Second place and second best udder to entry 127, Delta Row Lola's Laurel, exhibited by Terry Jacoby at Hillsborough, Tennessee. Third place to entry 130, Golden Rule Alithus Adeline, exhibited by Elijah Weibel, Angola, Indiana. Fourth place to entry 126, Love's Blue Ridge BRN Decadence, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana. Fifth place to entry 71, Nestor Acres Dreamer, also exhibited by Brenda Leitner. Sixth place to entry 129, Windrush Farms Neo Minuet, exhibited by Annika Streeter, Wildwood, Missouri. And seventh place to entry 131, Last Go Round Dr. Riker's Edda, exhibited by Caitlin Kreider, Danville, Kentucky.
Okay, these are our aged Nubians. Starting off with 1/2. Udder placings are going to be 1 and 2. We have the greater fullness to rear udder on this first place doe. Just a really nice overall area of udder support to go with that width to rear udder. And then nice depth of body, lots of length of bone here in this individual. Nice length from hooks to pins as well. It's going to put all those together to put her up over number 2, primarily for that capacity of mammary system with a little more balance when you look at these two does here in size and scale. Then 2, then going over 3, which is second udder, for just having an udder that's carried more properly beneath the animal today. I would like to see her carry more capacity, but she does have a really nice overall area of udder support and a nice placement of teat on udder floor and just carried a little more correctly beneath the doe today as she travels around the ring. Then the doe staying behind her in 3, we want to commend width to rear udder here on this third place doe, excuse me. Commend her for the height and width to rear udder. It is for the advantage today of having that height and width to rear udder, a little greater length of body and a little greater height and length of neck and dairy strength that 3 is going over 4.
In our Nubian 5 and over class, first place in best udder goes to entry 125, Begley's Troubled Acres Scheme, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Second place and second best udder to entry 124, Grand Champion Hohen Boo Casely Karma, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Third place to entry 126, Supreme Grand Begley's Troubled Acre Blabber, exhibited by Lisa Begley. And fourth place to entry 123, Begley's Troubled Acre Boomer, also exhibited by Lisa Begley.
Okay, and this does that are dry, fresh and one. So I'm going to start off with a pair of does that are pretty close here in my mind with these two does at the head of the line. Kind of goes back and forth here with these individuals, but for their little greater length in that rump area from hooks to pins and dairy strength. She's just a really nice high-headed doe, travels really correctly in general appearance around the ring. I am going to put 1/2. A really, as I say, a close placing here. This is a real typey, stylish doe in our second place slot. It is for that dairy strength in her turn with a little greater height in the area of the scutcheon. That 2 is going over 3, yielding to the body capacity of 3. 3 then over 4 for that body capacity, and still really nice, sharp, and angular doe throughout. Putting her over the dairy doe right behind her, and she's going to yield a little to dairy strength. Then it is for that dairy strength that the doe that's standing in 4 is going up over number 5. Openness of ribbing, sharpness and angulation throughout, and then 5/6 again in her turn. Just a little greater freedom from excess fleshing, and also primarily for that advantage in general appearance with the set to rear legs, granting body capacity back here to the doe behind her.
In our Alpine Dry Doe class, first place goes to entry 132, Pangea Momentary Angel, exhibited by Debbie Haberlin, Georgetown, Indiana. Second place to entry 136, Delta Row Arley's Arlet, exhibited by Terry Jock-Coviot, Hillsborough, Tennessee. Third place to entry 135, M&G Farms Maybelline, exhibited by Hannah Gove, Franklin, Indiana. Fourth place to entry 134, Van Wyck Acres Tobel, exhibited by Shane Worthen, Martinsville, Indiana. Fifth place to entry 137, Psalm Songs Glass Menagerie, exhibited by Haley King, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And sixth place to entry 133, Kickapoo Valley Jive Naomi, exhibited by Evelyn Lunn, Rockville, Indiana.
Okay, in this dry class here, does that have been fresh at least once here, any age. Going to start off with a 7-year-old doe at the head over a 2-year-old doe right behind her. We've got this doe that's just really sharp and angular. She is picking up a little bit in dairy strength when you put your hands on these does. For that little more openness, she's got that age and still really strong in those general appearance. You look at those feet and legs. It's nice short pasterns, but it's primarily just having that age, still really strong in general appearance, then having a little greater depth at the back in the flank and an openness and ribbing 1/2. The youngster right here, this 2-year-old doe, she's a really stylish individual, lots of levelness in her right and top line. It is for that little greater height. In the area where there's a little more body capacity and still really nice and flat boned, that 2 is going up over 3. 3 then going over 4. We're going to cut this little fourth over here a little slack. She's going to be having some kids here in a couple months. But again, we do have that little greater strength as far as dairy over this third place doe placing over number 4. And want to commend just that nice depth in the heart that we have in number 4. Senior champion. Yep. Okay, so we do senior champion. Then we're going to do junior. Yeah. We'll just do one overall. Yeah.
Don't forget that we show for an overall grand and reserve, so we will need those junior champions back to show for overall grand. In our Nubian dry doe class, first place went to entry 131, Supreme Grand Begley's Troubled Acre Eclipse, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Second place to 127, Hohenboo Rosary Rosalind, exhibited by Holly Broker. Third place to 128, M. Hideaway Lighted Ember, exhibited by Zoe Norwood. And fourth place to entry 130, Begley's Troubled Acres Zasprey, exhibited by Rob Smith.
This is our lineup for senior champion alpine milking class. Winner here. It's just a really strong group of animals. We look up and down the line here in this first place line, particularly just some real quality alpine does. It's been a real pleasure to judge the show this afternoon and see such beautiful animals. I will talk about our dry doe at the headline first. She's a 2-year-old, just a young doe, really strong in general appearance. She was a first freshener, but really kind of excelled in that group of animals out here, and really want to commend her for being out here, a beautiful dry yearling. Or 2-year-old, excuse me, yearling, dry. Then starting with the rest of the milking classes, we have a 5-year-old, I believe fifth freshener, is that correct? 5-year-old fifth freshener here, nice capacity of mammary system, just a really depth of body here in this doe, and still really dairy, open ribbed, lots of body, and a really smooth flowing animal as she travels around the ring. This 4-year-old, really uphill statured individual, maybe not quite as deep in the flank here as the doe ahead of her, but a really correct individual nonetheless. You look at that front end assembly, again, a beautiful height to rear udder, and a nice smoothness of blending of 4. The 3-year-old, again, lots of depth of body back here, a beautifully attached mammary system in her turn, extremely dairy with that long lean neck, sharp and angular doe throughout, and a nice level top line. The 2-year-old, a real standout 2-year-old doe, come out of a very large class. Really beautiful, depth of body. It's the second freshener. Just love the way that mammary system is attached, the extension to 4, the depth of body throughout. And then our yearling down here, just kind of starting on the ladder here upward, but a really strong doe in the general appearance and also in dairy, and has a nice high rear udder attachment as well. Kind of looking up and down the line, I think there's some really strong does out here, so you can do some trade-offs up and down the line. Today, for the advantage of just having that a little extra time here, I'm going to go to the 5-year-old doe. I'll just cut to the chase here. The 5-year-old fifth freshener, she has the capacity of mammary system, the body capacity, and for those strengths, she's going to top the class here for our senior champion. Congratulations. Okay, we brought our second place over here. It's a really nice dairy doe as well, lots of height and width. Kind of levels the playing field here between the rest of the does. Behind her, she's a really nice competitive doe, but the doe in my mind that I was really kind of struggling back and forth with here for the general appearance that she has, the height, the rear, a nice delineation of teat from other floor, and that height in the area, the withers. The doe that's going to be reserved will be the 4-year-old doe right behind her, and she's our reserve champion today. Congratulations.
I'll get the juniors in.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
Then we'll
And our senior champion alpine was our 5 and over doe, Moran Rochester Kennedy, exhibited by Randy Adamson. Our reserve senior champion was our 4-year-old, Moran R.M. Reggie, also exhibited by Randy Adamson. Congratulations.
Okay, this is our lineup for senior champion in the Nubian division. It's been a really great show here this afternoon. Really appreciate all these quality animals coming out in the ring and being exhibited today, and my appreciation to the exhibitors for having them presented in such fine fashion. Looking at this lineup, we do have our dry doe at the head of the line. This was a 7-year-old, 6 lactations, and again, a really strong doe in general appearance. And appreciate her being out here. Certainly has a lot of qualities that you can see why she's topping that line. But we're looking at does behind her that are in evidence of production as well. So we're going to go down the line here with the age doe. This happens to be a 6-year-old doe, 5 freshenings. I believe she freshened in March. Okay, so it's a 6-5 March. Just a really nice deep body doe with a really nice high rear udder attachment, lots of width and overall area of support on this doe. Then the 4-year-old third freshener right ahead of me, just a standout individual as far as in general appearance, beautiful angulation of rear legs. Has a nice smooth blending of neck into withers and a lot of dairy strength when you put your hands on her. The 3-year-old right doe behind her, again, lots of width and depth throughout, carrying a really socked-on mammary system with a lot of overall area of udder support, particularly to be commended for that nice extension to fore udder. The 2-year-old doe right behind her, again, just a doe that has that same kind of a mammary with that extension to fore, a nice width to rear udder, then coupling that with a lot of dairy strength throughout. And then our yearling down here, just a single entry in that class, but certainly a doe, as I said earlier, could stand some competition and still do really well. I love the way that memory system is shaping up here for a first freshener. When you look at the extension to fore, just the texture of memory system as well is just really a standout doe. So we really appreciate her coming out here in this lineup. As I look at the does up and down the line, the doe that just kind of came to my mind as far as that overall area of udder support in the mammary, the capacity, having the age of maturity and body, still really dairy. I'm going up to that 6-year-old doe, second from the top, and she's going to become my overall senior champion Nubian today. Congratulations. Going to bring that doe over, please. So now we're looking here for our reserve. It kind of gets a little closer here between now. The doe that's come in here, that's our second place age doe, this 4-year-old doe, and coming down here looking a little closer at this 3-year-old individual as well for that beautiful mammary system. As we kind of go up and down the line here looking at these does, I think that there's some real strong individuals out here. When you look at the final lineup with the overall area of udder support, the height, the rear, just a really nice depth of body as well as having a lot of dairy strength, the 3-year-old doe is going to become my reserve champion today. Congratulations.
And our senior champion Nubian was our 5 and over doe, Bagley's Troubled Acres Scheme, exhibited by Lisa Bagley. Our reserve senior champion was our 3-year-old, Bagley's Troubled Acres Hot Shot, also exhibited by Lisa Bagley. Congratulations.
Okay, so this is our best udder here competition. We have a 5-year-old fourth freshener, 4-year-old fourth freshener, 3-year-old third freshener, 2-year-old second freshener, and a yearling. Again, kind of looking at these memory systems here and then seeing the overall area of udder support, the laterals and the width of rear, again, the delineation of teat from udder floor. The 5-year-old doe that was our champion is going to have the best udder of breed today. Congratulations. Is that it? Okay, so then looking at these animals up and down the line, today, again, for having that nice correctness as far as the delineation of teat from udder floor, I'm going to go to this 3-year-old doe, and she's going to be reserved today. Congratulations.
And our Best Udder Alpine Award goes to the 5 and over doe, Moran Rochester Kennedy, exhibited by Randy Adamson. Our second Best Uddered Alpine was our 3-year-old, Delta Row Lorena's Leela, exhibited by Terry Jotkovic. Congratulations.
Okay, so this is our udders in the Nubian division. We have a 6-year-old with 5, a 4 with 3, 3 with 2, 2 with 1, and then the yearling with 1 as well. Okay, so we're talking about how these memories are, showing the evidence of production, overall area of support, placement of teat and udder floor when viewed from the rear. Doe that's going to be my best udder breed today will be my champion. That 6-year-old doe, 5 freshenings, beautiful capacity. She's going to be champion. Then we look at these does here remaining and for the tremendous laterals and that overall area of support. 3-year-old second freshener is going to come in as reserve. Congratulations.
And our Best Udder Nubian Award goes to the 5 and over doe, Begley's Troubled Acres Scheme, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Our second Best Udder Nubian was our 3-year-old, Begley's Troubled Acre Hot Shot, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Congratulations. We need to show for Grand Champion Alpine. So we need the Senior Champion, Junior Champion, Reserve Senior Champion, and Reserve Junior Champions in the ring, please.
Okay, so this is our overall for Grand Champion. We had our senior champions out here. We have our junior champions out here in the Alpine division. 4 really beautiful does. These young does right here are showing us a lot of promise, as we say, really strong in that major category, which is the general appearance. They're really uphill, strong in those legs and feet, lots of levelness in top. We wish them all the best as they continue to mature, and hopefully they'll get that memory system on there that's just as high quality as what they are right now. But having said all that, we do have 2 senior does that are showing us the total package with the evidence of production, depth of body, lots of dairy strength as well. I'm going to stay up in that senior division. We're going to make the 5-year-old doe here my overall grand champion alpine, and moving right over there, that 4-year-old behind her as reserve grand champion. Congratulations.
And our grand champion alpine is Moran Rochester Kennedy, exhibited by Randy Adamson. Our reserve grand champion alpine is Moran RM Reggie, also exhibited by Randy Adamson. Congratulations.
Well, it's been a mighty fine Nubian show here this afternoon. I have to say, I really enjoyed seeing all these beautiful animals, and this is certainly a tribute to the Nubian breed to see such quality does out here at this time of the year, showing us that production in the older does and those high quality general appearance in the younger stock. Looking at these two younger does, I think we have two really beautiful does out here as far as where they should be in the general appearance category. When you look at the legs and feet on both these does, they're pretty much very strong and uphill statured. We do have the little greater body and still not giving a thing up in dairy strength on the junior champion doe. She's just a real standout. We wish her all the best as she freshens the next year or so. And same with the little reserve next to her. Two nice, really beautiful Nubian does. We have these two older does at the head of the line that are showing us the whole package today. This outstanding 6-year-old fifth freshener, just a really powerhouse doe, but at the same time, just so productive. She's carrying that really beautiful mammary system, has a lot of width and depth. We're going to stay up there in that senior division so that 6-year-old doe is going to become our overall grand champion Nubian, and her counterpart, the 3-year-old right behind her, is going to become reserve. Congratulations.
And our grand champion Nubian is Begley's Troubled Acres Scheme, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Our reserve grand champion is Begley's Troubled Acres Hot Shot, also exhibited by Lisa Begley. Congratulations. So we need those group classes headed this way. We start with Alpine Dairy Herd, and then we alternate, and the order is Alpine, Senior Best 3 Females, Senior Get of Sire, and Produce of Dam. We are ready for those Alpine Dairy Herds. Alpine Dairy Herd.
Two mighty fine dairy herds out here in our Alpine division. I'm going to go with the group here on my left as first place. They got a really nice height to rear udders on these does, a little more dairy strength overall, and that sharpness in the withers. It's still really nice and deep throughout. So for that combination, going to put 1 over 2. I'd like to commend the strength of medials here on this group here in my second place slot. And again, nice width in the rump areas as well. So 2 really nice grouping of dairy herds. Congratulations. Okay, so this is our dairy herd grouping. We got 3 groups out here. It's all been mighty fine here in Nubian division. Lots of production here up and down the line. I'm going to go with 1 over here in this dairy herd. We do have that good little bit of age, but also that beautiful capacity of mammary system in this group. Lots of width to the rear udder. There's going to be our first place dairy herd going over the group on my far end here. Again, just a little more age and maturity on this group is going to put them over the group in the middle. We have that general appearance, and again, just a really nice overall area support in the medial suspensory ligament on 2 over 3.
As our judge is judging our Alpine Senior Best 3 females, I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize our premier exhibitor and premier breeder of our Alpine show. This year, both of those awards are going to go to Terry and Matthew Jock Kovietz from Hillsborough, Tennessee. Congratulations.
Okay, this is for best three here. We got, again, four nice groups out here in this lineup of Alpines. And I'm going to start with the group right here in the middle. There'll be my best three, this trio here of those that we've got some really strong contending individuals, I think, in this group. Champion and reserve does it. So we got our group right here is one. We're going to jump down here to the second place group down here. It's two, excuse me. They're going to be our second place group, and it is for the advantage of the body capacity and capacity of mammary system that one is going over two. Then two going over the group right here is three for the advantage of that overall area of udder support, which keeps those mammaries a little bit firmer in place as they travel around the ring. And then three going up over four, we have that dairy strength going on. They're tall, sharp, and angular uphill stature does, a little more so than we have on the group setting on four. Okay, this wraps up our Nubian show here with our best three. Again, it's been a real delight judging all these beautiful animals out here this afternoon. And this 9 animals out here represent, I think, a pretty good cross-section of our Nubians today. All really high quality mammaries on these does and a lot of correctness in general appearance and dairy strength. My first place dairy, our best three is going to go to the group right here in the middle. It's kind of hard to beat when you've got the champion and reserve champion out here. Again, just a really nice productive grouping of 3 does. They're going to go over the group on my far side here on the left. Again, for that a little more capacity, a little more overall area of udder support, is going to put 1 over 2. Excuse me. Green sawdust is getting from my boots right up into my head, I think. But we're going to go 2 over 3 for the advantage in their turn. Just that little bit more body capacity and depth and width throughout and age of maturity is putting 2 over 3.
We had no Alpine Senior Get of Sire entries, so we will be showing Nubian Senior Get of Sire. And as our judge is studying on this class in Nubians, I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize our premier exhibitor and premier breeder of our Nubian show. This year, those awards are going to go to the birthday girl, Miss Lisa Bagley. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Okay, so this is best three here, and no, excuse me, get a sire. Woo-hoo, we're going back over time. Get a sire. All these does represented by same sire and three different dams in each group. I'm going to start right down here. This is a group that's just really consistent. They've just kind of put a mark with the memory systems here, really nice and strong, consistent overall area of udder support, and a nice capacity of memory system. They're going to go up over the group that's right next to them is 2. 1, 2, and then 2 going to be going up over 3, which is going to be down here. Again, in the close placing, we do have a doe that's not in milker. This is that 7-year-old, freshening doe, but she's a real strong standout in general appearance. They, on their turn for that overall age, placement of teat and udder floor, is going to go up over the group here in the middle of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Congratulations to all of you. Great Nubian show. Okay, so in this produce here, we're going to start off with this one. It's going to be 1, 2, then we're going to go 3, 4. So first place right here, this pair of does that are just really pretty much clones. Just really nice, strong memory systems on these does. Beautiful strength of medial, placement of teat and udder floor. And then with a little bit more capacity, we're going to go 1 over 2. These does are really strong in the area of body capacity, beautiful memories in their turn, just not quite as capacious as the 2 does ahead of them. But for that uniformity and placement of teat and udder floor, right there in the center, they're going to go up over the group over here. Plus the 2 milking does, and we got a milker and a dry here in this group. And then 3 going up over 4 for the advantage of having that doe and milk and just showing us a nice body capacity over the group on the far end. That's 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, congratulations. Yes. Yes. Really? Wow. Oh man, yeah. You got some nice stuff coming on too.
I'm hoping.
All we can do.
You just never know what the udder's going to do.
I know, I
It's
know.
like a flip of a coin.
It is, it is. And sisters can change. I mean, I had one that had the most atrocious udder, and her sister was like, oh. So it's like, what? Same genes, everything.
I know. I'm like going.
So it really makes it
It
challenging.
makes it hard to pick which ones do we keep.
Yeah, exactly. Until they freshen sometimes.
Until they freshen.
Yeah,
I can't keep them all.
that's right. We'd like to, but can't afford it. Boy, you guys, I'm going to miss y'all because you're just down there doing all this just cooking. It's like, it's so nice to when you come in, line them up. I know, now we're going to have to say goodbye. Jeez.
Right when they get to
I know. Just like my kids, although they never played better. And they never said goodbye. And luckily they never said quite goodbye. So, okay, how about here? How many sires?
two sires,
Two sires? How about here?
two sires, and two sires.
Okay, so well, I tell you what, I'm going to make it real easy because I'm just going to go right back down to you. So we're going to go here. We got 3 produce out here. We got 2 different sires in each group. I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. We just have, again, this pair of does up here with a little more age. It's just really nice consistency as far as in type, lots of correctness in general appearance, and then having a little more capacity in memory system. Dave's going to put them over the group in the middle, and then they, in their turn, showing us the whole package. We do have that beautiful junior champion over there, but again, for just having those 2 does and milk, we're going to go with those 2 does over here over the group on the far left and wish the younger does all the best as they continue to mature and freshen along the way. Congratulations.